Hi everybody, it's Vids. So today I'm going to be comparing these two movies, Elvis 1979 and Elvis 2022. I'm basically just gonna be comparing them and which one was better portrayed and all that sort of stuff. And I'm going to break this up into a few stages of Elvis's life and say which one was better portrayed for each. I'm going to do Elvis's childhood, Sun Studio, Hayride, Elvis moving to RCA from Sun Studios, Elvis and Gladys's relationship, Elvis in the army, Elvis and Priscilla's relationship, the movies, the 68 comeback special, and Elvis's return to Las Vegas, and Elvis's death. So let's start off with Elvis's childhood. Now, I'm going to give this to Elvis 1979 because, I think it just shows a bit more, digs a bit deeper into what Elvis's childhood was like, how Elvis was feeling in his childhood, all that sort of stuff. Like, take a look at this clip from Elvis 1979.
See, old Elvis is talking to himself again.
I wasn't talking to myself.
Who then, crazy?
I was talking to my twin brother, Jesse Guerin.
Ha! You ain't got no brother.
I do too. Well, I did.
Crazy. Crazy. Mama's boy. Mama's boy.
I ain't.
That'll teach you, Mama's boy.
See, like that actually used to happen to Elvis in his childhood, but this is all that it really shows in Elvis 2022 of Elvis's childhood.
What you talking about?
Hey, fool!
Come on, Doc, let's go.
Them comic book heroes all have them superpowers. His was music.
See, it only really shows Shake Rag and then Elvis seeing Arthur Crudup and then being in a tent revival and stuff. But Elvis 1979 just shows a bit more about what else was happening in Elvis's childhood and how Elvis was feeling then and stuff. So, this one goes to Elvis 1979. Now let's move on to Sun Studios.
Yeah. Got that? Yeah. Got it.
Well, that's all right, Mama. That's all right with you. That's all right, Mama. Just any way you do, but that's all right. That's all right. That's all right now, Mama. Any way you do. How do you know Big Boy Crudup?
That's all right, Mama. That's all right with you. That's all right, Mama.
I'll give this one to Elvis 1979 again because, what I just showed of Elvis recording That's Alright Mama in Elvis 2022, that's one of the only shots of Sun Records we get in the entire movie. And Elvis 1979 actually just digs a lot deeper into Sun Records, and it shows Elvis singing My Happiness, and it even shows Elvis recording Blue Moon of Kentucky, and of course Elvis recording That's Alright Mama, and it goes a bit longer on that, and and that actually reminds me, when I went to see Elvis 2022 in cinemas, there was this group of people who were in the cinema with me, and then when I was leaving the cinema and I was going home, I walked past them and I heard them talking about how it didn't show enough of Sun Records, and I actually thought they had a fair point. So, and I don't think it did show enough of Sun Records, and yeah, like I said, the Elvis 1979 digs a lot deeper on it, shows a lot more of Elvis recording at Sun and all that sort of stuff, so yeah, I'm going to give this one to Elvis 1979. Now for the Hayride.
Gonna tell Aunt Mary about Uncle John. He kinda got a music, but he having a lot of fun, oh baby. Yeah, baby. Ooh, baby, have me some fun tonight. Well, you may go to college, you may go to school, you may have a pink Cadillac, but don't you make nobody's rule now, baby. Come back, baby, come. Come back, baby, come. Come back, baby, I wanna play house.
I'll give this to Elvis 2022 because, yeah, it goes a bit longer on the Hayride. It gives you a bit more of a look around on what was going on, what Elvis was doing, and how the audience was responding, and, yeah. So, at Elvis 1979, the Hayride is just a really short sort of scene on, like, Elvis performing and the crowd going crazy and stuff, but Elvis 2022 just, yeah, shows a bit more on the Hayride and how it went and stuff, so, yeah, I'll give this to Elvis 2022. And now Elvis moving to RCA from Sun Records.
I just don't want you to do this, Sam. I mean, I really don't.
Elvis, well, I'm not being totally unselfish about this whole thing. I'm a practical man. I think they're gonna offer me $35,000 in cash. That's a whole lot of money. We get to retain the rights to press the records to fill all our orders to the first 1956. I think that's pretty fair.
RCA does have the distribution.
I just need to know that you'll still be with me as friends.
Don't doubt that. I'm not going anywhere. Marion and I just don't want to stand in your way, that's all.
The world needs to hear you sing, Elvis.
Elvis Presley's contract sold to RCA today with the highest price in music history. Quite the payday for Sun Records.
It's Elvis 1979, because to me, Elvis 2022 only really showed the real basics of that conversation that Elvis had with Sam Phillips and Marion Keisker, whereas Elvis 2022, just kind of shows a bit more of what they were talking about and how Sam was convincing Elvis that it was a good idea to leave Sun Studios, and, yeah, so I'll give it to Elvis 1979, but I'll also include Elvis recording Heartbreak Hotel, because, you know, that was part of it as well.
Well, since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell. Well, it's down at the end of lonely street. That's Heartbreak.
Wait. I ain't gonna got it, man. What's wrong? I don't know.
You know.
It's the intro. Let's just cut the, yeah. All right. Cut the intro, and I'll just come in on lyrics from the count, you know. So let's take it from the top.
Well, since my baby left me, well, I found a new place to dwell.
What is he doing? We paid for this? It's a suicide song.
Heartbreak Hotel.
Still to Elvis 1979, because, yeah, it shows how it took a lot of takes for Elvis to record it, how Elvis was getting frustrated and stuff, and in Elvis 2022, all we really see is just Elvis singing the first few bars of Heartbreak Hotel, and then, the scene just finishes. I kind of wish that scene in Elvis 2022 could have been a bit longer, and they could have showed a bit more of the song and stuff, so yeah, I'll still give it to Elvis 1979. Now for Elvis and Gladys's relationship.
Elvis, I never knew that they made any Christmas trees like that. You know, they kept turning around and plays music, and it's got all those twinkling little lights.
You like it, Mama?
Elvis, your hair's black.
Just like yours.
Oh, I only wish. I don't know if I can get used to all these This change is going on.
I'm just trying to take care of you and Daddy. That's all I've ever cared about. I ain't ever gonna let us get back to a place again where Daddy gets in trouble with the law to put food on the table.
How dare you? As the good Lord warns us, do not wear yourself out to get rich. Do not trust your own goddamn cleverness.
Elvis, you've upset your mama.
I'm gonna give this to Elvis 1979 again because, yeah, we all know that Elvis and Gladys had a great relationship, but when I first saw Elvis 2022, I kind of got the feeling like didn't really show them having a great relationship. I think it kind of showed that, Elvis being a singer destroyed their relationship, which, from my knowledge, I don't think that's true. I think they had a good relationship till, Gladys died, I think. But yeah, so I'm giving this to Elvis 1979 because I think their relationship was a lot more accurate in that movie, and it shows more of them getting along well and stuff. And they do talk about how Elvis being a singer isn't great to Gladys sometimes, but in 1979, but in 2022 I get the feel like they focused a bit too much on that and not really enough on when they got along well. So yeah, I'm giving this to Elvis 1979. Then for Elvis going into the army.
Everybody's treating you. They've been swell to me, really. Treat me just like anybody else. And, that's the way I like it.
Cut your hair. Prove to the world that you are a clean-cut, all-American boy. You do your 2 years, and when you come back, I promise you I will have done everything I can to make you the biggest actor in Hollywood. You will choose your own pictures.
It's gonna be okay, Mom.
He'll do 6 months basic training at Fort Chaffee before shipping off to
Elvis 1979 again. Yeah, I just think Elvis 1979 portrayed the army better because in Elvis 2022, as I just showed, they kind of, like, when they show Elvis getting the haircut, it's only really Colonel Tom Parker speaking over it about the haircut and stuff, and, yeah, they're kind of focusing on two things at once, and I kind of like how in Elvis 1979, they just focus on one thing in that scene, which is the army haircut, and it's pretty much like nothing over it. So, yeah, I'm gonna give this to Elvis 1979, and another reason why I'd give this to Elvis 1979 is because it shows a bit more of Elvis in the army as well, like Elvis doing things like this. So yeah, Elvis 1979. Now for Elvis and Priscilla's relationship.
Hi, I'm Elvis Presley.
I'm Priscilla Bowie.
Oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch a long, lonely time.
And then what I said, and I said this really calmly, I said, listen, okay, he's just really lonely, and quite frankly, so am I. And then they didn't really know what to say after that, so I went upstairs and I went to bed.
Never met anyone like you.
Well, I hope not. So, what is Natalie Wood like?
She's nice, you know. She's been writing me about acting. I've been asking stories about working with James Dean. And God, I just hope to one day be as good.
Elvis 2022. Yeah, I just think it shows a lot more on how Elvis met Priscilla and stuff. Because as I just showed you in Elvis 1979, it only really shows Elvis and Priscilla meeting in that place, and then Elvis playing Unchained Melody to her on the piano. And then, but then in Elvis 2022, it shows, like, a whole conversation they have when they meet up with each other, and, yeah, I think Elvis 2022 was a lot better. And now for when Priscilla leaves Elvis.
Do you remember that night? We were sitting out on the porch, rocking in rocking chairs. And I said, I can't take this anymore. I'm 18 years old, and I feel like an old lady already. And you said, I promise it won't always be like this.
I remember. It's gonna change, baby. He's gonna change.
It'll never change, Elvis.
Do you remember the last time that we laughed together? Do you remember the last time that the three of us sat down and had dinner together? You won't even make love to me anymore. I give you my life, and I have nothing else in me to give you.
You still love me?
Still Elvis 2022, it just kind of, shows them in, talking more about it, and, yeah, and I also like how in Elvis 2022 it actually shows Priscilla leaving Elvis, instead of in Elvis 1979, how it just shows Priscilla talking to Elvis that she's gonna leave him. I like how in 2022 it shows her actually leaving him, and, yeah, it shows Priscilla telling Elvis, like, more about it, and, all that, so, yeah, Elvis 2022 it is. Now for the movies.
Okay, that's got it.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, hold it here.
Let it set, I said.
Hey, the only reason we doing these stupid movies is because it's supposed to be fun, you know what I mean? I think once they cease to be fun, then I think we'll cease to be doing it.
Gonna set my soul, gonna set my soul on fire.
And the cast of his buddies and cousins, his Memphis Mafia.
Stakes up higher. There's 1,000 pretty women waiting out there. They're all living the devil may care. And I am just a devil with no despair. So people,
Yeah, this goes to Elvis 1979 because, yeah, it just shows a lot more on how Elvis was getting really annoyed and frustrated with the movies, and how he once said to a director that he wasn't having fun doing the movies, and even when he was having fun, he doesn't think he should have been doing those movies, and, yeah, but in Elvis 2022, it's just sort of like a movie montage of all the movies Elvis did and stuff, so, and I just think Elvis 2022 could have showed a bit more on the movies, so, yeah, Elvis 1979. Now for the 68 comeback special.
This has nothing to do with Christmas. You'll be hearing from our lawyers.
But we still have Here Comes Santa Claus.
Santa Claus is bringing you a lawsuit.
Yeah, this definitely goes to Elvis 2022, because what I thought Elvis 1979 did wrong with the 68 comeback special was that it completely cut it out, like it never existed, and I thought that was wrong, because, yeah, I remember watching Elvis 1979 about 4 years back, and, I remember I was like, but wait, where's the 68 comeback special? Doesn't even show the 68 comeback special for a second, you know? It completely cut it out like it never existed and just goes straight to 1969's return to Las Vegas. Like, that was Elvis's comeback, and it was Elvis's comeback, but, like, Elvis wouldn't have got that contract in Vegas if it wasn't for the 68 comeback special. So, yeah, I think Elvis 1979 should have at least showed a bit of how Elvis did the 68 comeback special and stuff. But whereas Elvis 2022 shows a whole thing, it shows how Elvis was doing, how the directors and Colonel Tom Parker were doing, and how they were thinking of the 68 comeback special, and how Colonel Tom Parker wanted it to be a Christmas special, and how Steve Binder and Elvis didn't want it to be a Christmas special, they wanted it to be what it was, and how it got popular, and yeah, all that stuff. So, yeah, this definitely goes to Elvis 2022. Now for Elvis's 1969 return to the stage.
For the money, two for the show. Three, get ready now, go, cat, go, but don't you step on my blue suede shoes. Well, you can do anything, say all for my blue suede shoes. You can knock me down, step on my face, slam my name all over the place. Do anything you wanna do, but honey, lay off my shoes and don't you step on my blue suede shoes. Well, you can do anything, but say all for my blue.
Elvis 2022 hands down for this one. Yeah, Elvis 2022, the scene where Elvis comes back to Las Vegas is just mind-blowing, and yeah, it shows a lot of Elvis returning to Las Vegas and how Elvis was performing, and then when Colonel Tom Parker was signing the napkin for Elvis to be in Vegas for 5 years and stuff, and yeah, whereas Elvis 1979 only shows like a short couple songs. They showed Blue Suede Shoes, they showed The Wonder of You, and they also had Burning Love, which was cut from the movie. So in the theatrical version, it was only Blue Suede Shoes and The Wonder of You. And yeah, I think they could have just showed a bit more of that in Elvis 1979. But I also think Austin Butler had something to do with how the return to Las Vegas in 1969 was portrayed better in Elvis 2022, because Austin Butler just nailed that part. He did nail the role of Elvis, but I think he especially nailed the return to Las Vegas in 1969. He just did it so well, and it was almost like he is Elvis. It was just mind-blowing in Elvis 2022, in the return to Las Vegas. So yeah, Elvis 2022, now for Elvis's death.
Early Lord, one frosty morn. Look away. Look away. Look away. Look away. Look away. Dixieland. Dixieland. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
died today. He was 42. Apparently, it was a heart attack. He was found at his home in Memphis.
President Carter has just made a statement.
Elvis Presley's death deprives our country of a part of itself. He was unique and irreplaceable.
Thousands of mourners have gathered outside the gates of Graceland.
Using the styles of white country and black rhythm and blues, permanently changed the face of American popular culture.
The outpouring of grief can be seen everywhere.
It was a symbol to people the world over of vitality, rebelliousness.
Yeah, Elvis 2022. Although Elvis 1979 doesn't, say anywhere that Elvis died, I've always kind of thought that ending with American Trilogy and how it's showing shots of his life and stuff, I always kind of thought that that was supposed to represent that Elvis died a bit later and stuff, but, yeah, I prefer Elvis 2022 because, yeah, it shows a few pictures from the funeral and what big news it was and all that sort of stuff, and I kind of think they should do that. They should have done that with Elvis 1979, should have showed, a bit of how big news Elvis's death was before going to that big, powerful ending. And also, who could beat that Unchained Melody ending? That was just so powerful. Whenever I watch it, I feel like crying, and yeah, that ending's just too good. What an amazing finale to Elvis's 2022. So, yeah, giving this one to Elvis 2022. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and what are your thoughts? What do you think was better portrayed? Leave it down in the comments, because I'd love to hear your opinion. And I'm not beating up either of the movies, because they're both really amazing movies. I'm just kind of picking the best. I'm just kind of picking what was better portrayed, but they were both really well portrayed, and I really like both the movies, so yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye!